Hi everyone. I hope you're able to see me and hear me well. Could you just confirm if we are audible on the chat? Awesome. So, firstly, thanks a lot for taking time out on the weekend and joining us in this session. We are glad that you are able to make it to the session and would love to share across our learnings and delve deeper into the age of AI that we are entering into or already in per se. Before we jump into it, let me quickly share my screen and let's get started with the session. Just if you could give me a thumbs up or confirmation in the chat saying you're able to see the screen. Great. So the whole intent of this session is help you get started and learn few tips and tricks with leveraging AI in your day-to-day work and life in general. The First and foremost, we just wanted to say that we are hugely grateful for you joining us in this session. Thanks a lot for giving us this opportunity. And the key intent of before we jump into the session itself, I'll quickly introduce myself and Soumya as well, and why we are doing this and what we are doing as such. So I've been in the product space for about a decade. This is my LinkedIn. If you want to scan also, or we are also sharing our profiles in the chat as well. The I've been in the product space for about a decade, built B2B, B2C products across industries. I strongly believe that we are in the age of AI or in general tech being leveraged to deliver the ends. So I strongly see that tech is an enabler for us to reach certain ends, and we need to leverage it accordingly. I evangelize something called as full stack product management, which is or full stack professionals in general, which is being able to understand the end-to-end value chain and solve problems leveraging different tools, with AI or tech being one of the tools as such. Last but not the least, the whole intent or aspect is, or the whole journey that we are on is to maximize the creativity, credibility, and collaboration within humans, and that's what is fundamental or foundational for our existence as such. That's about me. And about Soumya, so she is a seasoned consultant, an AI tinker, builds AI products. She's also a data scientist and has a vast experience in BFSI space for robotic process automation across with multiple clients in general, HSBC being one of the major clients as such. Uh, Now, one thing before we jump into the session itself, we just wanted to showcase how the future might look like with some of the products that we are working on or we've built per se. The whole This is to showcase the art of possible with AI in the current day and age. Just as an example, let's say if you are talking about how the a travel space would look like per se, or how an insurance experience could look like, is what I'll just quickly demonstrate it to you, and then delve deeper into our session as such. So if you look at this particular use case that we are showcasing currently, that I'm showcasing you, this is a insurance use case that we worked upon, wherein the experience might seem like it is a regular insurance website which is there, but the good thing is, or the aspect is, it has a conversational aspect into it. So not like a traditional chatbot which lies on the side over there. This takes care of the experience in a much more conversational and visual at the same time, and this is where we think the future is getting into as well, wherein we are not just having a text based experience, but we have our visual, but at the same time a conversational assist working with you constantly per se. The reason why we are showcasing all of this at the beginning itself is to help you think what is the possibility with that you can work upon, or what is possible in the age of AI. Let's say you have filled all the details and you just submitted it off per se, then the recommendations again, so the traditional recommendation engine will still kick in. We'll get into the details of it, but the point is, we are entering into a space where we will be reimagining everything, be it the processes that we have in the businesses or the user experiences that we deliver with the devices that we have as such, right? So that's the aspect. We'll get into the session, and we'll also showcase one other experience that was built by one of our cohort members as well. That way you will get a sense of what is possible without even having to code everything by yourself, let's say, right? Nonetheless, it's more important that you learn the most in today's session, and that's the whole focus of the session as well. The whole intent is to so we keep getting this question, why are we organizing such sessions and all. So first things first, we enjoy a lot when we build products, and it's a huge fun activity for us. And second, we see a huge potential in AI, in tools that are available in the market today, and want to empower businesses as well as individuals to leverage these tools well. We believe in something called as co-learning and learning by teaching, wherein and we run our cohorts as well, when we learn and help others also to learn and improve themselves and become full stack professionals as such. So those are broad level reasons why we do these sessions. Before we jump into the session, just wanted to take a moment and set some house rules of sorts. First things first, this is a session where I want everyone to take a note that we will learn and experiment with all the tools. Please type in oath in the chat window, just so that we are all committed for the next 1 hour 45 minutes or 2 hours of time to be open to learn, and more importantly experiment the more. Would love to see others also putting in the comments. Thanks a lot, Vijay Kumar, for the comment. Would love to see others also putting in the comments. The second point is, we are doing a co-learning session. This session is not a one-way monologue per se. We would want each of you to participate in this session, contribute with your inputs and learnings. We don't know everything in the world, and we would love to learn from you, and others will also benefit from your experiences, and that's a great thing, because it's through collaboration that we all learn. So during the session there are many instances where we would request one of you to contribute and share your knowledge. That way each of us can learn from the others. Third thing, the biggest challenge that we see in people in general is not showcasing what their work is. So would love you guys to share across whatever you are learning today or building in today's session on LinkedIn or X, and showcase your learnings to the world in general. Last but not the least, we would request you to ask as many questions as you have in mind. We might not have answers to all of them. We would love to get back to you with them, but some of the other members in the cohort in the session today might have answers to your questions, and that way everyone will learn together and grow together. And last but not the least, please take notes. Won't be able to provide a recording as such for this. So that's at a broad level the rules of the house per se. Before I jump ahead, any questions till now or any inputs that you want to share? You can either type it out, or if you want to come on camera and speak, you can just raise your hand. We can get you on stage as well. Okay, cool. So I assume there are no questions. We'll just quickly move ahead. Enough about us. What's more important is to know about you. If you could, each of you, give a small intro of yourself in the chat window by giving your name. Anyways, comes up automatically. But where do you work? How many years of experience you have? What brought you here? Have you built any AI products earlier? if you could just share these across, that would be helpful. Mm, Uh, I hope you guys are not sleeping off already. I would love to see some comments coming in. Great. Thanks, Aman. Okay, I wouldn't spend more time on this then. Seems like people are shy. Let's see. I hope they'll open up as we move forward. So, I'll just share across the key takeaways that I want you all to take back from this session. So the key takeaway that we want to put across is as follows. One is the whole thing is AI can now interact with you, reason with you, and create things. That way you are able to, and that's the difference this time, right? AI is not a new thing. It's been there for ages. The difference right now is that it is able to interact with you, create things out of thin air, and more importantly, reason as well. Second, there are tools that are available in the market for most of the use cases that you might think of, might not be part of your current workflows in your professional life or in general. So it's important that you explore them and use them effectively. We will delve deeper into a few of those tools today. Second, we want this session to be a hands-on session wherein you actually build an AI agent or AI chatbot by yourself and gain that confidence that yes, this is not a rocket science, or this is not something which is only for the tech people in the world. It's for everyone. It's like how we are using Excel today or how we are using laptops per se. That's how you would leverage these tools in the future. So we want you to use them today in the session and take that as a key takeaway. Last but not the least, the whole thing is you need to also, you might want to relook at the way you approach the career itself. That is, you are now getting into a space of becoming full stack professionals wherein you understand the end-to-end value chain and look at more of ROI being delivered rather than tasks as such. The second thing is also reimagining the business processes itself with AI agents or AI in general coming into play. How will my business processes look like in the future is also something that you might need to look into. So we are moving away or transitioning from an age of business process re-engineering that you might have heard of earlier to an age of business process reimagination, right? So if you these are the three things that I want to ensure that you understand clearly. Please ask any questions that you have on these pointers or anything in middle. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask. It's very important that you understand every aspect of it and learn about things. Now, there are several myths that are surrounding AI today, right? What are some of the myths that you think are there in the are there according to you are myths that are surrounding AI? Any few thoughts or what you think are myths about AI? Anyone wants to take a stab at it? You can put in a comment. Okay, no problem. So, thing is, there are few myths that we would want to once touch base upon. First thing is, well, this I don't know how true or false it would be, Aman, on whether it taking all the jobs, the horizons of it and all. It's a very broad topic to comment on. But at the current moment, at least the way we see it, first things first is you need not be an AI expert to use to be an expert or to use these tools that are available in the market. First thing. Second, AI isn't for me is what many people have in their minds. It's for the tech folks, or it is for someone who is in the tech team that AI is for. That's not the case. Any person who is irrespective of whether you are a student, whether you are a professional as such, you can use AI tools that are available today. Third thing is AI is a brand new technology, and that's not a reality at all. AI has been there around from 1950s or 1960s per se. The key aspect to note is with ChatGPT being launched in 2022, what happened is the world awakened to the fact that AI can now interact, create, and reason. That's what made this different, or make it made it felt so easy to understand. Earlier also there were AI models, be it your recommendation systems, forecasting models, the optimization models, or many things that are present that you would have reached. By recommendation model, I mean, let's say if you go to an e-commerce platform like Amazon or Flipkart, you would be recommended about the products basis your historic purchases, what other people bought along with this product. All of that coming in is part of your AI systems itself. Or you would have seen in finance industry there is fraud transactions being identified and detected. All of this happening is what was also AI, that's just called as narrow AI back then. That's all. This fourth point to note is people have this misconception that since AI is there, everything can be sorted with, or all problems can be solved with Gen AI, which is not the case again. Gen AI understands, or it's a great tool, but you need to orchestrate it well to solve problems, right? Last but not the least, AI provides accurate responses and unbiased results, which is not the case again. So AI is trained on some data which is labeled by people across industries, across geographies, and it's basically an average of whatever training is given to the system, or average of whatever data it is being fed per se. So that's what it is. So if there are biases in that data, or we as humans have some biases, then the AI will also have those biases, and it is not going to give you 100% accurate answers as well, because it is a probabilistic system. Or it very simply put, it might not remember everything accurately. It is just trying to connect the dots and give you some response so that you understand, you get a coherent answer per se. So that's these are few things before we jump into the details of the or using tools and all of that. I just wanted to ensure that we are clear on these misconceptions that generally come across, right? uh, Anything new that you feel, or anything extra that you want to add over here? Okay, so now we are getting into our co-learn time. What is a co-learn time? It's nothing but I would love for one of you to come up and explain what is Gen AI and why are we talking about it so much these days. We kind of covered it already, but keen on hearing your views of it as well. Anyone? Okay. By the way, there is no wrong answer, so feel free to share across. Anyone wants to take a stab? Okay. So, anyways, I'll move ahead with the session. Okay, great. So Prashant says generates new content which could be text, image, video based, and absolutely Prashant. So it is able to create basis one simple line of prompt that you are giving to it. By the way, what is a prompt? It's nothing but the way you talk with an AI system is what we are calling as prompt. That's all. Be it your query or your inputs that you're providing is being called as a prompt. We'll cover that in the further slides also, but I just wanted to ensure that you're clear about what we are referring to, right? So as Prashant rightly said, it's all about now you're able to get images, videos, even paragraphs or documents itself being created by the AI system, and that too coherently. That's the value add or difference that we have this time. So the key aspect to notice is this is not something which has happened overnight, right? We started off way back in 1950s per se, wherein we've moved from narrow AI systems, and now we have entered the age of Gen AI. Now, what is narrow AI system? The whole recommendation system that I was talking about, or classification systems. So, what is a classification system? Let's say you want to classify different set of users basis their demographics. Now, being able to classify them as per that is also an AI system. Being able to cluster basis the features of, let's say you have 1,000 photos, being able to cluster them saying that this is a dog photo or this is a cat photo, again is part of your narrow AI systems. So benefit of narrow AI systems is they are very focused, but they are very efficient also. So they are able to get things done faster, better than humans, and leveraging a lot of data on which they were trained. However, they were not good at all activities, especially natural language is not something that they were great at. And that's what Gen AI kind of cracked. This made the interactions with us, the humans, more humanly, and made it simple for all of us to interact with them and democratize the access to these technologies in a better way. That's the only thing which has happened with Gen AI, right? We are not keen on understanding, okay, or delving deeper into the transformer architectures and all of that. It wouldn't matter for us because we are not in the space of AI research per se. For us, what matters the most is how can we apply these into our daily lives and our work to deliver the right value to be it our customers or clients in general, right? The other aspect is we are now, or if you see in the news, most companies are now claiming that their main focus is achieving AGI. Now, what is AGI? AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence, which is nothing but it is able to reason like a human and is having knowledge about anything and everything that was that's there in the world as such, right? So that's what AGI is all about, and that's what OpenAI, Claude, or sorry, the Anthropics of the world. So these are the companies which are working on the hardcore AI research and churning out models with their research that they are doing. That's the thing, right? Then there is something called as ASI, and the whole point about ASI is it stands for Artificial Super Intelligence, which is supposed to have consciousness also, and it's a vague definition of what consciousness itself is. So no one has exactly a definition for it to say what is ASI. But once AGI is achieved, is when it is expected that we'll start moving towards ASI, right? Any questions or any inputs on this? I hope you are all clear about what is narrow AI, what are different types in it, what is Gen AI, what is AGI, and what is ASI. Any questions? Maybe you can just say yes to in the chat so that I understand, I get that feedback from you. Great. So the thing is, we already discussed. This is the current. What makes a difference is create, reason, and interact. So that's the key aspect that is different this time. Now, a quick question for everyone: what does GPT stand for? You would have heard about Chat GPT, right? What does GPT stand for? You can put it in the comments in the chat. Anyone? Which is fine. Can you maybe share it, Naveen? Okay, so absolutely. So generative pre-trained transformer is what GPT stands for, but that's a technical definition of it as such. For us, we can consider it to be a general purpose technology. Right? AI has become a general purpose technology for us, as in we are able to. So, what are the other general purpose technologies that we have in the world? Anyone wants to take a stab at this? Okay, interesting. Google Maps is an application on top of a general purpose technology per se, but yes, internet is a general purpose technology, for example, right? Or electricity is in a general purpose technology. Or for transportation, you have engine-based vehicles that were created, or petrol became a general purpose technology of sorts. Telecom is in a general purpose technology. In the same manner, AI is becoming a general purpose technology, which is getting embedded into anything and everything that we have, we use in our daily lives or we work upon, right? Uh, Everyone is clear on this part as well, right? Why it is becoming a general purpose technology? Because now it is able to easily work or get things done for us as well, and it is getting democratized easily. Cool. So all of this, so then comes the question, okay, all of this is fine, but what happens if I don't use AI? That becomes a big question for many people as such. First, you would have seen on LinkedIn and everywhere in the world, which says AI won't replace you, but person using it will replace you. Or there is a person named Peter Diamandis. By the way, do check out his podcast named Moonshots and Mindsets. It's a great podcast. Do follow his content. It's amazing. Nonetheless, what he says is by 2030, there will be two types of companies. One, that are using AI. Two, those have gone extinct from business itself, right? So that's how tectonic this shift is, according to many people and business leaders out there. The intent of sharing all of this or mentioning this is not to invoke fear. The whole idea is to encourage you to leverage or try out them so that you understand what is that they can offer you. That's more important. It doesn't matter whether it is the best AI in the world, and as long as it's not serving your purpose, then was no use of it at all, right? So that's the whole aspect around why should you do it, to make your life simpler. That's the whole idea, right? A quick poll: which of the following is not a AI powered application according to you? You would have seen, you could see an poll coming up which says A, B, C, and D. So each of those options stand for this. Stands for fraud detection, B stands for logistics and route optimization, C stands for natural language chatbots, and D stands for rule based automation. We have about 30 more seconds. You can quickly share across your views or participate in the poll. We'll wait for 10 more seconds and then we will move ahead. I'll explain why uh, some of the options or some of the members selected a different answer. Cool. So you would see from the poll answers that 50% people said it is option B, and 50% said it is option D, which is logistics route optimization versus rule based automation. So thing is, logistics route optimization is an OR problem statement, or it's also called as traveling salesman problem statement, and it is actually an AI model in itself. Well, rule based is just, it's not an AI model as such. There's no learning that happens over there. It's a static set of rules that are present, and you are just following those rules. So rule based automation is not exactly an AI powered application. Right? Clear on this? Any questions or any inputs anyone wants to share? Okay, so again, a quick question. We already discussed about this. What does it mean to talk to an Gen AI model? It's nothing but prompting. Now, you need not understand, or you need not delve into the technicalities of it, but it's better that you understand how do you go about prompting the models, right? So the best way of doing it is giving it a persona or a role. So when you go to a chat GPT or Claude or any, we'll go to each of these tools. I'll share few sample prompts with you. You can play around with them in today's session. But the thing is, you need to understand the framework behind it as well. So you are asking it to play or put on a hat of a particular persona, which could be you saying it that you are a best teacher in the world, or you are someone who has decades of experience in marketing, that too in FMCG space. So you can be as clear about what you expect this LLM to play the role of, or this AI to play a role of. Second, you provide a detailed context around it, which is what is that you're doing, which company. If you don't want to share the name of the company, that's fine. You can even just mention that it is a Indian geographies company which has a huge market in personal care products, let's say, right? So the more context and the better information that you are able to provide it in a structured manner, the better it will be able to help you out. So, third thing is tasks and expected output. So you, at the end of the day, you're using this system to get something out of it. So, some ideas being bounced off, or getting some information being fetched, whatever it could be. So you being able to clearly articulate what tasks you're doing and what is the expected output or outcome from that should be clear. Last but not the least, it might help if you could give few examples as well. Now, all of that might seem something similar to you, which is when you hire a new person in your team, an intern or someone, you would do the same thing for explaining things to them. The same thing is happening over here, right? So consider it that way, give the relevant context and information, and make it possible, or so that it can get back you the response that would add value to you, right? Anyone having any questions on how do you prompt a particular model? Clear about what is role, what is context, tasks that you are expecting examples, or and being able to provide examples. You can feel free to ask. Okay, great. uh, Now, one of again, a quick question. What is your biggest wow moment with AI? Right, you would have been using some of the tools at least once, not necessarily day in and day out, but at least which AI tool, or what was your wow moment of using AI tools? Anyone wants to share? Okay, or maybe if you could just mention any industry that you think would get affected the most by AI. No issues. So we'll quickly continue. So I'll just share across my wow moments per se. It's been across multiple years. In 2022, the first thing was Midjourney and ChatGPT experiences were great. In 2023, Perplexity blew me away, and then 2024, Notebook LM was a tool, and Claude's artifacts capabilities were awesome. Even currently, I think Notebook LM's new join feature is great, and frankly, I think it will be impacting any industry that has data lying around, and AI will be able to impact those industries drastically. So that's how I envisage it per se. Now, the thing is, now let's go ahead and start playing up with a few tools. Request you to open up those tools as well. I'll share my screen for each of these tools, showcase you what how these tools are working, and what with few examples, that way you understand what different features that are present in each of these tools as well. So just as an example, so for in ChatGPT, I'm not sure if you have used the reasoning models, or the deep research capability, or the image generation capability. They also have something called as canvas. All of these is something that we will play around with right now. Let's maybe I'll quickly shift my screen and start sharing the ChatGPT UI. Can you just say give a confirmation if you're able to see the screen? Awesome. Are you able to open chatgpt.com, everyone? Okay, cool. So once you land on ChatGPT, I presume you can even ask questions without signing in. But if you sign in, then you are able to access some more features of it per se. So this is how the landing page as such looks like. I'm sure you are all aware of it. The simple thing is you can just start with a simple query also. So before I jump into the queries and all, one thing I wanted to ensure sharing with you is I'll just explain about what these options that you see at the top, right? You see something called as ChatGPT 4o. Sorry, I got disconnected for some odd reason. Yeah. So once you click at the top, you would be seeing something called as 4o at the top currently. That's nothing but a model that they have created. And there are many such models that are present, which includes O1, O3 mini, O3 mini high, 4.5, 4o with scheduled tasks, so on and so forth. Okay. To get started, it doesn't matter which model it is. Let it be in the default one, and let's start using it to play around with a few use cases, right? Let's say you want to do a detailed I'll just share this prompt with you all as well. These options are available only when we log in, I presume so. I think so, Naveen. I'm not 100% sure of it, but they have a non-login version also. Let me quickly open that and see. Correct. You're right. The option is available only in the logged in version, Naveen. Okay, cool. So now you can also go ahead and let's say I'll just share this prompt with you, which is a basic one, which just says summarize the key market trends affecting assets management in 2024, focusing on AI-driven portfolio management, regulatory changes, so on and so forth. We just want to understand from a finance industry standpoint, this is something that you want to get into. Or we can even take another example, which is, let's say, how is the e-commerce industry in India looking like? So we haven't given any persona, anything. We are just asking a query that came to our mind, right? I'll also share this prompt with you. you can type any question, but point is you will get some response like how you would have got it in Google or any other search engine of sorts. Now they also have the capability of searching across the web and giving you the response as well. So that's one. But let's say you have a better question to ask. So the question that you want to ask is, let's say you want to ask it, can you you are an expert, business strategy expert in e-commerce industry with decades of experience in market expansions. So here I am giving it the role. I'm telling that you are expected to work as a business strategist over here. You are helping a horizontal e-commerce platform to expand the categories from the current categories of personal care, books, electronics, grocery. You are to do a thorough research about Indian geography and provide the suggest the way forward. Okay, so thing is now I'm giving it a clear context and also asking the expected or giving it a task of what's expected. Uh, the output should be structured in a clear document. So now here what happens is it is going to create a far more structured document which will be able to help you answer these questions in a better manner. I'm sharing the other prompt also with you. So if you see the structure now, the good thing is it's giving you the introduction, it is giving you the categories that it's proposing for expansion. So you would see fashion and apparel coming at the top, followed by home and decor, health and wellness, toys and baby care, so on and so forth. And it's even giving regional demand preferences and consumer preferences details and competitor analysis and everything being given over here, right? All of this is possible because you are now giving it a better prompt and expecting a right response from it. So that's where that's an important aspect of prompting these systems. Everyone is clear about how do we go about prompting the system? Any questions or any inputs? Okay, so the thing is, now that we did this one, there is a latest feature which was launched, which is called as Deepresearch. So let's do a scenario where we are doing the same thing, but we ask it to do a deep research on this. Okay, now what is deep research? Deep research is assume you are expecting it to go through hundreds of sites, create a detailed report, and actually think or put a lot of thought into it before it responds to you, and backs every statement with a justification and gives a clear insight into it, is what this thing is all about. So this is not a feature just available in ChatGPT, it is available in DeepSeek, which is another service provider, or Grok, which is powered by Elon Musk's X, and even Perplexity offers this. So we'll open all of them and see. But I'll also do one thing. Let's take the same question and I'll show you for all of the platforms at once. I hope you're able to see the screen. right? This is the deep search research capability. This is not available in all the accounts. You might have to have a paid account per se, but in Perplexity you can get it for free also. So there is an option over here in Perplexity which says deep research. Same goes with if you go to Grok over here, here again you will have something called as deep research as an option. And DeepSeek by default has it has an option of deep thinking, but not deep research. So DeepSeek doesn't support it. It has a reasoning model, not a deep search capability. I'm just giving the same prompt across all the platforms, and let's see how the response comes out to be. So you can see one thing, which is it's especially, let's say in case of Grok. Grok can be accessed via Twitter/X, or it can be accessed via grok.com website itself as well. So as you can see, what is happening is it's taken all the entire prompt, and then it has started doing the research, and it is going through these many websites that it is showcasing, right? It is creating it's basically going through all the data that's available which is relevant to it, and making sure that it is taking all the insights from across the reports that are present. Right now it's looking at, let's say, 95 sources. Now if you go to uh, Perplexity, it's also doing the same thing. It is now identifying, let's say, about 35 different sources, and it is adding few more as we speak, and it's able to come up with it will be able to come up with a detailed report also. Now if you look at DeepSeek, it's not doing a research across the internet, because it's not a deep research tool, but it has a thinking capability. So what it is doing is it's giving what it is having in mind, or what's the thought process behind the approach, and it is showing you all the steps that it is taking. You can see, okay, I need to help an e-commerce platform, current categories are this, whatever context we've provided. Then it's trying to dissect the problem so that it understands how do you approach, let's say, north, south, east of India, and so on and so forth. Same goes with ChatGPT also. Good thing about ChatGPT, and even there is a provision in case of Gemini, which is uh, an option when you upgrade in Gemini, you have an option of deep research here also, and both of them ask you clarification questions. So here you can see ChatGPT asked me these 5 questions, right? What is market priority? So I'll just answer all of them. So are you looking for category exceptions of high growth potential, or high growth and profitable? So I've given an answers for these, and it got an understanding of what my perspectives are, and it has started doing the research over here, right? So it is understanding what is happening, and or what is needed, and it's now started to do the research. Now let's go back to the other tools and see where they are. You can see DeepSeek has thought for 36 seconds, and it's clearly articulating what all it has thought about, how it is looking at, and it gave a beautiful document over here. As you can see, it's talking about regional analysis, it's talking about categories that are of high focus, and even how do you go ahead with partnerships, whom you can partner with, what is how do you approach it, including digital marketing campaigns and all of that, and implementation roadmap also. So if you could see, it's also giving you a POC sort of an approach, instead of doing a big bang launch of the entire category itself. Now let's see how Grok is faring. So it has done research across 95 web pages, and it's giving you the detailed note here. So again, you could see the trend is more or less the same, which is the focus is on apparel, home decor, footwear, toys, so on and so forth, and again bifurcating it as per geographies and all. But the point is, you are able to get such detailed researched documents out of just a single prompt, right? As long as you're able to communicate clearly with all the expectations, you are now having many tools free of cost at your disposal to get things done for you, right? Any questions on this? Everyone is clear about the capability of deep research and how do you prompt the LLM models? Any questions or any use case that you think should be considered? Okay, I presume it's a no. Can anyone, okay, just tell me if you're able to play with these platforms. Did you, have you tried this? Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, that's fine. Naveen. Yeah. Others, have you tried playing around right now? So please play around these tools. I'm giving the prompts also, and we are sharing the URLs of the websites as well, so that we want you to try it out in this session itself. That way, you actually get an idea of what you can use it once you go back from the session. Okay. Uh, any questions? Any views or inputs? Cool. I'll quickly proceed ahead and just show you a few more capabilities that ChatGPT has. Okay, just as a point, once it is done doing the research per se, it will again prompt me saying that I'm done and we can get back to it. I'll just go ahead and showcase you a few more use cases. Let's say you want to generate images, right? You can just generate a quick interesting image. Let's say I'm just giving it a very vague prompt of having this infographic or image being created for 5G technology, and it will be able to do it for you, right? So images being generated is also possible right now. I've shared the same prompt with you so that you can also generate and see. You can also give other prompts. I'm just sharing these prompts so that it becomes easier for you, but doesn't mean you need not try other prompts. Please try them out. And note, since as I mentioned earlier, none of these tools are in such a way that you get the same answer every time. The answers might differ from every time that you ask a query. So that's one thing. Are you able to see this image that got generated? Right, so you could see it is able to showcase 5G in the middle clearly, and how connectivity is growing across places and all of that being communicated directly on the platform with just one prompt, a single line of prompt. Now imagine if you give far more detailed one, nuanced, and all the requirements being clearly articulated, it could be further enhanced with your prompting capabilities, right? uh, One more use case is there is something called as canvas in ChatGPT. Now, what does it help you with? It actually helps you create a separate document instead of giving you an answer within the chat window. So you can look at it this way, right? I'm just asking it to create a one-page PRD. So PRD is nothing but a product requirement document which articulates what is expected out of a digital product that's being created. Okay, I'll share this prompt also. Is image prompt available only in ChatGPT 4.0? Correct, Prashant. It's available in ChatGPT as an integrated thing. The rest of the models don't support it or provide it at the moment. So I am just giving a prompt and I'm asking it to consider canvas. So you can see it created a different document now. Ideally, I should have prompted it in a better way, saying that you are an expert in finance and product management. You are able to understand the nuances of a user and their requirements well. You can capture the details of user journeys and all of these being mentioned clearly. That way it would help me get all of that. But right now I'm just giving a simple one liner. Still, it's able to give me a decent document out of it, and you can just copy this entire document and paste it off, right? Let it continue complete generating it. Now it is completed. I'll just copy this. I'm sharing this entire response also with you. 1 second. Okay, there is a limit on how much I can do, but let's see if I can just. So you also have this option of creating a canvas page and sharing it in public per se. So how would it look like? Let's me show you. It looks like this. You get a structured document out of it clearly, right? And best part about canvas is you can actually go here and type and edit it. Develop we go with, features, ensuring the product is top notch. I'm just putting it an extra line over here. Now if you see the document here, I'll just refresh this page. I'll have to save it, I guess. 1 second. Yeah, your latest changes aren't included. Now I've just updated it. The link is the same, and ensuring the product is top notch. So you can actually share it across with your team members once your documents are created, once your analysis is done as well, right? Any questions or any inputs that you want to share till now? Okay. Just I hope you are all there. If you could just say yes, yes, or learning maybe in the chat, that would be helpful. Okay, cool. So thing is, now that we have an understanding of these tools as well, I'll just also show you few more scenarios. No, Canvas is not equivalent of Perplexity. The equivalent of Perplexity is search capability in ChatGPT. You can just say, what's happening in Indian or Ukraine versus Russia issue, especially with new tussle between President Trump and Ukraine President. So it is doing the web search, right? That's what is it all about. Oh no, we don't have a canvas equivalent in Perplexity, Naveen. Yeah. Now, let's continue with. Okay, just one thing, you would have noticed a small pop up that came up or a notification that came up saying something is done. So you can see the report that we asked for is ready. It's done a detailed report for us. It took about, I think, 6 minutes, went through 16 different sources. You can even see what those sources are, and you have a detailed report created for you. And it is starting off with fashion and apparel, beauty care, uh, home care or home decor, groceries, so on and so forth. And it is also giving you all the details, and it is giving a tabular reference. So this is a clear document that you can use as a first cut for you to understand about any industry in general, or want to deep dive, do a market search for market research of a particular industry. Okay. Any questions? Okay, cool. The other capability is also something called as visual. You can actually visualize it, visualize data using these platforms. I'll quickly show you that piece also, so that you understand the capability that is present. Now, let's say I'm just asking it, giving it a table, given a data set of this, help me with some insights around it, right? I'll give this prompt to you also. You can also play around with it. Uh, cool. While it is doing this, I'll quickly show you one more interesting tool. Okay, you could see it has done the analysis and it is showing you the charts and graphs directly. So you can use this as a platform for creating reports or dashboards also, or getting analysis done for your data. Okay. Any questions? So let's switch gears a bit, and before we jump into Claude or any other platform, just wanted to show you a tool called as Suno. This is a platform which helps you create music, right? So you could see that I have created a few, and all of this is just created with one simple prompt. So I'm not sure you hear the music. Were you able to hear the music? If a thumbs up or yes would be helpful. Okay, I'll move ahead maybe. So the whole okay, I'll just continue. So all of this was just done with one single prompt, and the song and everything came out from that itself. One second, let me show you what the prompt was. Hmm. Huh. So you can see there is something called as reuse prompt, right? So over here, I can just ensure that I can add or get more details around it easily with one simple prompt. Also, you can even say, or if you want to create by yourself, you can just come and create a new one altogether. So here you can see this is a simple description of the song that you want to have, and you can even make it instrumental music also. So instrumental musics like this can be simply generated with the AI tool. You can't hear the music now. I was. Yeah. So the prompt in this case, if I remember it correctly, was Am Namah Shivaya, and nothing else, just a single line, and it was able to create it. Naveen. Okay. Uh, there is another platform called as Reelcraft. So Reelcraft is a platform which can create videos from your prompt. There is also a platform called as InVideo, which also does the same thing. But let's say you want to create a video, it might take some time. But let's any suggestions on what video you want to see or generate with the simple prompt? Anyone wants to give a simple prompt? Uh, Women's Day. Cool. Okay. So let's assume this is the quick prompt that we are giving, and you click on create, right? What happens is it's then giving you the options that you want to select. Let's assume I want to go ahead with cinematic and it's taking this and enhance so it's also giving you transform an idea into a script or what type of a prompt is this. I'm just giving a small idea that I have and I want it to be generated as a script and explain it per se. So this takes some time because it has to create a lot of an entire video out of thin air. We'll come back to this and see how it generated it, but let's continue with other tools in the meantime, right? There is also one more platform called as Sora. This is a platform which is created by uh, OpenAI team itself, basically the creators of ChatGPT, and but it is only capable of creating 5 or 10 second videos, not 1 minute or 2 minute or 3 minute long videos or even 10 minute long videos, like how let's say a Reelcraft or some other platforms that are present can do, right? Uh, you are aware of Perplexity. So Perplexity, other than deep research, it also has a capability of just doing a normal search. You can ask it questions like how I was asking ChatGPT about Ukraine versus Russia. The same thing can be given to it. The best part is it also does an entire web search and gives you the response. So instead of let's say Google search, you can do your search over here. Uh, Okay. Now we'll once check out an interesting tool which is Claude. The key benefit of Claude is it has something called as an artifact capability. Now, what is an artifact capability? Let's say you want to create a process flow chart diagram for an e-commerce company for their order fulfillment, right? You are expert e-commerce leader. You want to design process flowchart for order fulfillment journey for an Indian e-commerce brand. That's all. So the thing is, it does something very similar to what the canvas side of the world was doing, but it creates much better visuals for you, right? So once let it generate in its entirety, then we will also see how it looks like. So you can see it here that it has created the entire flow chart of sorts, starting from it saying that customer places the order, payment was successful or no, order is confirmed. It then went into order management system. It did an inventory check, whether it was in stock, out of stock, what to do in those scenarios, how do you go about the delivery, whether it is an express delivery, standard delivery, so on and so forth. Dispatch notification being sent to the customer. So you can basically you can see that it has visualized what is the possible journey of the user, or what is the possible user journey, or the entire workflow for the fulfillment process for the commerce industry, right? So you are able to visualize it directly. Now if you have a specific process in mind and you want it to be visualized, you can just document that process and give it, and it will be able to visualize it for you. You need not worry on the visualizations being created manually now, right? Any questions on this? Okay, so it is also another beautiful aspect of Claude is it's able to create simple UI screens for you. So let's say I want to create a landing page for a course, cohort based courses, helping people to transform themselves using AI, and uh, it will be able to generate the entire web page for you, and you are able to see how it would look like as well, right? So let it generate. We'll see that also. But the point is, it's got to a stage where most of the things that were seemingly impossible earlier for non-tech people is much simpler in today's day and age. Okay. Uh, okay. Among the tools that we've discussed till now, which one seemed most exciting for you, or which one you felt to be a good tool for you? By the way, the video generation is still in progress. Once it is done, we'll see. But if you could share any tool or feature that you liked the most in the chat, that would be great. I hope you guys are there. Okay. Any feature that you like the most, per se? Anyone or everyone for that matter? Good question, Prashant. So the answer is, for most of the users. So for most of the use cases, ChatGPT in general does a good job for the activities that you're doing. But let's say if you are trying to delve more into creating UIs or coding as such, Claude is a good use case, good tool over there. Perplexity is a good alternative for Google, I would say. Instead of Googling, you can go ahead with Perplexity because the results are better as such. Last but not the least, the DeepSeek or I didn't get your question, Naveen. You meant where Claude is better than ChatGPT, or where it can be better used, or okay. So Claude is more suitable for coding use cases, or like, okay, let's say I was just showcasing you how we are able to create this landing page, right? So this, for such use cases, Claude is the best tool. Best part is you can just click on publish and copy this link, open it up, and share it across with people. I'll just share that link also. So that's the thing. I hope, Prashant, that answers your question. The tools that can be used for different use cases. Great. Now, let's see if the video is generated. If not, we will quickly jump onto the one more tool that is very good as well, which is, you can see this tool called as UiZard. So this tool can help you create prototypes. So if you are working in digital products as such, or and you want to create tools that are or you want to showcase different tools to your audience or users, and want to know what would work for them. So let's say if I want to quickly create an app which helps uh, hiring managers, recruiters, or talent acquisition teams to raise hiring requests and um, uh, track the entire hiring process plus coordination with candidates. Let's say this is an app that I want to create, and I just mention go ahead, and I want the prompt to be used, and I want it to be, let's say, uh, modern, techie, and dark mode per se, then it will be able to create an entire prototype for you from this alone. That's the capability that this platform has. Right. So the whole intent of showcasing these many tools to you is to tell that the fact that what was the first key takeaway that I wanted to, second key takeaway, which is there is an AI for that. You will now understand that there is actually an AI for everything that you can think of, or that can help you in your day-to-day activities, and you can leverage them to fast track your work or get make things simpler for you. So you can see here in how it beautifully created the user experience per se. It says hire track. We'll just move ahead, and if I submit, you can see create a hiring request, candidate search, team collaboration. There are many aspects to it also. Then you also have what is the interview process like, all of this, whether the shortlisting is done. All the screens or possible screens are created automatically by this platform itself. Right. uh, I hope this helps. Or any questions that you have in mind now. Anything which helps in making PPT? Okay, good question. I'll show you that also. There is this platform called as Gamma. Gamma is they have a free trial. It's a freemium product per se. You can use it to give a simple prompt and get an entire PPT generated. But if you already have a, PPT created and you want it to be stylized, even that can be done using Gamma. Naveen, I hope that answers the question. Cool. There are two last tools that I wanted to show you before we jump into the hands-on activity of building a chatbot. That tool is nothing but Notebook LM. Is there a website which tells us what AI tools are available in market and what use cases it can solve, which are updated regularly? I would say there is a platform or a website called as there's an AI for that. But you can directly go to maybe even a chat GPT and ask it to do a search, and it will be, or a perplexity, and it will be able to help you, Prashant, instead of trying to rely on a single site. It's better to have an aggregator in place. Yeah. So there are last two tools that I wanted to show, and frankly, these are two of the best tools that I use day in and day out per se. One of them is something called as Notebook LM. I'll share the URL. Please do try it out. It's a beautiful tool. Kudos to Google. They have been able to make some or a very interesting product. So let's say what I've done over here is I've just okay, let me show you one part, which is you can even click on create new, and it will ask you to upload few documents. Let's say I want to upload two documents that I have. One which talks about how we suggest you approaching AI implementation, and the other is our cohorts details. Now, I can ask any question and it will be able to answer the queries over there. So let's say if I ask, how long is the cohort offered by team colon Kautilya? So you can see it has answered the question along with the references over there. That way it becomes easier for you to know also whether it is actually telling the truth or it is just hallucinating per se. That's more important. And the second thing is, do they have a framework for a adoption um, that can help businesses to adopt AI? So it's given an entire in our document we've mentioned about the slope framework that we've come up with and the implementation process details around it. All of that is coming out clearly. Best part about their platform is they have something called as audio overview. You can just click on something called as generate, as you can see over here, and it generates an entire podcast summary for you so that you can play around with or understand it from a voice standpoint instead of having to read everything yourself or ask questions and then get answers by typing it out. Let it generate this. It takes some time to generate it per se. In the meantime, we can just look at the video that was generated by Reelcraft for the Women's Day use scenario that we were talking of. Let it okay, it's also taking a bit of a time to load. You are able to hear everyone is able to hear right? The voiceover. Can someone respond? So that is with respect to Reelscraft's capabilities per se. The other aspect to note is if okay, maybe we'll once go to Notebook LM and see. Okay, it's not generated. There is one more tool which is called as Napkin AI. So the at least I always wished that we were able to showcase or visualize things in a better manner, and Napkin AI helps you with that. You can just select a particular set of pointers and ask it to generate infographics. It just goes through the content that you have and generates the details or generates infographics around it immediately. We'll just give it a minute. So you can see here it's created multiple options of the imageries for, per se, and let's say if I find this to be beautiful and relevant, I'll just select this. It gives me a few options of variations of it as well. I'll just select it and it is done. You can see this entire thing is generated automatically by a system, and it's made visually appealing that you can put it in your presentations also easily, right? Any questions or any inputs? Maybe I hope you're enjoying the session at least. You can say yes. I hope you're not sleeping. Okay, great. Uh, Thanks. So, thing is, now that you have seen this, we'll once let's see. Okay, while this is generating, I'll show you for some other use case that we have played around with. We have uploaded the entire Ramayana of written by Raj Gopalachari onto this platform, and we've created. Okay, it will also take some time to load. I'll show you how this thing in a minute once it is completely loaded. So here you can see the audio podcast is ready. I'll just play it. Please confirm if you're able to hear the audio clearly. Then we will also use something called as an interactive mode that you can see here. I'll explain about it as well. You're able to hear, right?
Like our boring Zoom meetings.
No way. Think
We know
huge
you're able
event,
to hear
state
it.
sponsor, like a mix of a conference and a
Welcome to our deep dive into the Ramayana. I'm sure many of you know the basics: Prince Rama, exile, rescuing Sita from the demon king Ravana.
A classic.
But today, we're going deeper, using C. Rajagopalachari's retelling as our guide.
Oh, excellent choice. Ravagopalachari really brings ancient India alive.
That's what we're aiming for, right? Not just the plot, but like what life was actually like back then.
Exactly. And Rajagopalachari doesn't just tell us about.
Awesome. So I'll just now ask. You can see there's something called as an interactive mode. Let us continue. I'll
Youngness.
just click on interactive mode. Once it renders it, it will continue playing the audio.
Welcome to our deep dive into the Ramayana.
I'll
I'm
ask.
sure many of you know the basics: Prince Rama, exile. Hey there. Want to share your thoughts on this?
Absolutely. I would love to know more about Lord Hanuman and also the conflict between Vali and Sugriv. Can you delve deeper into that?
Absolutely. I could definitely talk about Hanuman and Vali's grief.
We can definitely explore those topics. What a great question.
Let's unpack Hanuman first. What are you most curious about?
We will definitely talk about him more as we go on.
Rajagopalachari calls Hanuman the junior servant of Hari.
Because the senior servant is Garuda, always with Vishnu.
So Hanuman is all about devotion to Rama.
Rajagopalachari also describes Hanuman's.
So you can see, I just asked it a question and it started going, instead of it going through the entire thing, it just picked that particular element and started talking back to me. So it's like me talking to my books. Is one small use case, but there could be n number of such use cases that you could come up with as well. That's why I was saying it's all about art of reimagining things and you being able to build things by yourself and play around with all these tools by yourself. Now that we are clear about all the tools that are present, and we've used most of them as well, we will quickly jump into the slides. We'll get back to the slides as well. Okay, so we've covered the list of tools that I have mentioned here already, and the different features that are present as well, which includes, let's say, tools like all the tools that are listed here have been discussed anyways. I had a few tips that I wanted to share, which before we jump on to doing a hands-on activity of building your own chatbot per se. First things first, please ask LLMs. So you need not always think about creating prompts by yourself. What you can do is you can have the prompts generated by the LLMs themselves and ask them to prompt themselves also. So you can use that provision that's available. The second part is making LLM as a judge, or making LLM to put on a hat of your customer or a client or your boss also, for that matter, or your team members as such, so that you understand how or you can ask it to put on their mindset and review whatever content that you have created and give you feedback critically so that you can improve on it. There are features on ChatGPT and Claude called as projects. It's basically clubbing multiple chat windows together. You can use it as your tutor, ask it questions and get to learn from it directly, because it has a lot of context and data on which it was trained on, and it can help you learn better. You can also use one thing is if you want to leverage AI tools for building things per se, one key aspect to note is it being able to you actually focusing on a problem to solve, not the technology itself. Exploring tools is fine, but if you want to actually jump on to creating things as such, you have to, it's better you do by solving problems rather than focusing on the tools themselves. The second part to note is make sure that you don't share sensitive information with these systems. It might be a challenge at a later point of time if that gets exposed and all. Last but not the least, please don't rely on AI tools to be 100% right as such. They are there to bounce off your ideas or use them as tools. It's at the end of the day you who are going to be putting your it's your credibility that's at stake per se, right? So that's more important. And consider them as just tools rather than anything else at the moment. Okay. Any questions or any inputs? How is the session till now? If you could just put in learning, that would be helpful to understand that you are learning from the session. Uh, okay, I guess you are not learning, but at least are you enjoying your time? Okay, thanks. Um Thanks. Now, we'll just quickly touch upon. We've been discussing about LLMs till now. There might be a question in your minds: what exactly is an LLM? Right? What do we mean by reasoning models and all of that? I'll just quickly cover that piece. So, thing is, very simply put, consider LLM as a huge library which has all the data in the world, and it is able to answer your question. Go to the particular book, fetch it out, go to the page, read it, and answer your question. That's what LLM is doing. It's the entire data being consolidated into a small into a concised manner, so that it can give you responses quickly. However, there is a variation of it called as mixture of experts. Mixture of experts is nothing but a system which will wherein the library, in the first case, the library didn't have any categorizations of books. All books are present across all the places. So if you have to retrieve something, you would have to go through most of them. While in case of mixture of experts, what happens is that each row is categorized, saying this is history, this is a row for history, this is for geography, this is for physics, so on and so forth. Now, whenever you ask a question which is related to any of the particular row, the search happens only in that particular area, or only the person who is relevant to that particular row will go and work. So that's what a mixture of experts model is all about. Okay. Any questions on mixture of experts versus LLM? LLM stands for large language model. Since they are very large in size in terms of the number of data points that they are handling, that's why they are called as large language models. There are something which are also called as small language models, which are not having all the parameters, or it doesn't have a very big library like a large language model. Okay. Any questions or any inputs that you want to share? Okay. Last quick question on this, which is what is one use case that you wish? Hey, hi, Shibin. Your question is what are parameters? Okay, so parameters are nothing but how you are dissecting your data, or adding attributes to your data points. What I mean by that is, let's say you are a human, correct? Now, there are few attributes that would help identify or narrow down on you. One could be, obviously your name is one parameter or one attribute for you. Similarly, there is gender, there is age, there is demographic data or geographical data that comes up, education background, so on and so forth. Each of them becomes the attribute for you to understand, to delve deeper. In the same fashion, you can take the entire data available in the internet and you use multiple attributes or parameters to dissect them to, okay, from this perspective, this is what this data is. So that's what a parameter is all about. It's how you are dissecting your data. I hope that helps, Shibin. Soumya Lakshmi says, do we need technical knowledge to use LLM? So, Soumya, the answer is no, because today, if you see in this entire session, nowhere have I talked about anything to do with AI research or even front and back end development, software development as such. All I was talking of was I have a problem, which is I wanted to do a deep dive or a research about a particular industry, and then I'm using an AI tool to do it. Or I want questions to be answered basis my documents that I have created about the cohorts that we run or the AI consulting that we do. Again, that's coming up from Notebook LLM as thing. So technicalities are always means to achieve an end. So what matters the most is what is that mean end going to be. We will figure out ways of reaching that end. Right? I hope that helps, Soumya. Any other questions? Okay, so before we jump into the last thing, I just wanted to explain one thing, which is everyone would have heard about something called as AI agents in these. If you open LinkedIn right now, that's one of the most raging topics. AI agent is nothing but an intelligent system which can get things done for you. That's all. Now, what does getting things done for you mean? Let's say if you have a single line of job description, but for a candidate that you're hiring, and you want a detailed job description to be created, and you want an assistant to do that, that's an AI agent for you, right? Or you have an end-to-end system for in case of an e-commerce, talking to a customer, understanding their requirements and suggesting right products to them is also an AI agent. So anything that can help you get things done is what an agent is. So from a technical standpoint, AI agent is nothing but an LLM or an AI model that is able to call APIs, and that's all, right? Nothing else, and don't we need not complicate our lives with all the definitions in the world. What matters to us is from an application standpoint, this is the only thing: an LLM which is able to call APIs and get things done. API is nothing but how do you talk. Let's say you and I are talking, I speak in one language and you understand that language and reciprocate to me. Same fashion, systems talk in the language of APIs. That's all. Okay. Any questions on this? Any inputs that you want to share? Okay, if not, then how about tool access? Aman, I didn't clearly get you. So tool access, so tool is nothing but an API call at the end of the day, Aman. Sure. Good point. So thing is, when you say a tool access or tool calling, it's nothing but you calling an API. That tool could be anything. It could be a tool for getting recommendations of products. It could be a tool for getting search results from Google. It could be a tool or an API call for YouTube search results basis your requirement. So tool calling or API calling is one and the same. It's just that the tool is the final this thing. API is how the communication is happening. I hope that answers. Aman. Awesome. Any other questions that you have in mind? Cool. So before we can quickly jump on to creating a chatbot for each of you. You can create it yourself in this session. I hope that's fine. We have another 15 minutes. I think we should be able to make it. But one request, if you could once come on to the stage and we can quickly take a pic of all of us. Would love to see your faces as well. You would see a request coming from us asking you to come on to the stage. If you could come. Hey, hi, Aman. Hi, Naveen. Thanks for coming. Great. Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll just quickly take a screen grab in a minute. I'll just wait for Shibin. Will you be able to turn on the camera by any chance? No issues. Oh, thanks. Kind of you. 1 second. I'll just take a screenshot. No camera on. 1 second. Okay. Thanks a lot for coming onto the cameras. Uh, cool. We'll quickly jump onto the or continue with the session. And I don't want I won't take more than let's say 15 minutes hopefully, but I want to make it the most for you guys in the session. So if you could just quickly let me know if you're able to see my screen first and foremost, and so we will build a chatbot quickly, but we have a few bonuses also for you to take. One of that is we've created a small tool wherein you can just upload your pic, and you can get a photo frame of a photo frame created for you directly using this platform. So you can, what you just need to do is you can just enter your name. Let's say in this case, Sri Harsha. I'll just add a photo of mine, and preferably a square shaped photo, or that's what we support currently. And I ask it to create a frame for me. It gives me my name, attended the workshop, and built my first agent. I can just click on download, and it gives me a downloadable image, which you can share on LinkedIn or any other platform of your preference as well. Right. So this is a very small tool which we were able to create quickly. I'll just continue sharing my screen. Okay, now for building the chatbot that I was talking of, let's quickly, if you could open this, we'll share a link. This platform is called as Mind Studio. I've just shared the link also in the chat. By the way, I'll also share the link of the photo thing with you all. Would love if you could put across posts on the relevant respective platforms with your images. Uh, are you able to log on to Mind Studio? I'll stop sharing once again, and I'll reshare my screen. Can you see the screen now? Okay, great. Let me log out and show you from the beginning. That way it becomes easier for you. So if you go to mindstudio.ai, this is the platform that you would land on. Okay. You can click on sign up. If you don't have an account already, just click on sign up. You just need to give your email ID and give a password of your preference. Right, and this is nowhere that we are saying this is the only platform that's present. It's one of the good platforms that is there. There are other platforms like Diffie, which is also doing something very similar. Langflow is also available. The only reason why we wanted to use this, they have free credits that are given. They give about $5 of credit for every new sign up that you do, so that you get $5 free per se, and you can use that for testing out and playing around with different AI tools as such. Right? Can you just confirm if you are able to open the screen? Sorry, open mindstudio.ai and sign up for it. Once you all confirm, we'll just quickly build a small chatbot on it for ease, and you can share it across with everyone also. You can just comment out yes once you're done. In the meantime, I'll just upload the documents that you can use for creating the chatbot also. Great, thanks, Prashant. And documents on which I've just shared two documents for reference, but you can use any of your preferred document also. I'll just quickly then log in with my account onto this platform. Let's see how it would look like for your reference. So you can obviously explore it at leisure. No problem with that at all. I'll just go ahead. I wanted to show you the building part of it per se. On the left navigation panel, you will see something called as build over here, right? Everyone is able to see this. Can you just give me a confirmation of yes? Okay, great. I hope that's the case with everyone. Thanks, Prashant, for confirming. You can just click on, can you navigate once again? Sure, Naveen. So I'm not sure which screen you are in, but once you log in, you will land onto a screen like this. Over here, you can just click on build at the left navigation bar. Okay, just click on that, and once it is clicked, you will see something called as create new agent. Okay, you can just click on that. I hope everyone is able to follow. Everyone was able to go on to the landing page and click on build and click on create agent. So now you will land onto this agent architect or mind studio architect screen. Okay, it wouldn't we need not understand any technicalities of it. For us, what matters is the PDFs that we have, we want to have a chatbot created on top of it. That's all. So we'll just mention we have two PDF documents which we want to create a chatbot on. More, can you please help? That's all. I'll just share this prompt also with everyone. That's all. And we just go ahead and say generate. You can even generate it manually, but I'm just doing it for to showcase you the possibilities that are there here. Even for simple use cases, it might be even better to do it manually, because this processing and all might take some time to happen. That's all. We'll just wait for a minute for this to process, and then we will see what is the output. I'll explain those blocks in a simple manner, and then you can just upload the PDF documents from your respective systems onto your respective accounts, and we can play around with chatting with it, and you can share across the URLs also with us as well. So what it interpreted my request as is, it thought I want the user to be able to upload the documents also, and it's so if you could see on this, right, added automation steps that are present here. It thought I want it to collect documents from the user, extract the data from the PDFs that have been uploaded, gather it at one place, and then start the conversation. That could be one use case also. It might be a use case that you might have, but in the current scenario, that's not the thing that we want to build. So I'll just directly reject it over here, and I'll just go to what is called as automation flow here. Okay, and everyone is able to see or land onto this screen at least. So in case if you haven't clicked or entered the prompt and initiated the processing with Mind Studio Architect screen, you can even just click on blank project at the top. Uh, you you are able to land on the screen. If not, okay, let me do one thing. I'll show you how do we get to the screen directly instead of it coming up with this. You can see this is called as open blank project at the top, right? Just click on that, you will come to the screen. Everyone was able to follow this? Sure. So the reason why I rejected the flow was I don't want the users to upload the document. I want my documents to be, let's say, uploaded already, and it is basically an FAQ bot that we were trying to create. But in case if you want the users themselves to upload documents and ask queries on top of it, that is a valid use case as well, and you can do that also, Prashant. Not a problem. I hope that helps. Awesome. Cool. Now that we are on this screen, everyone, I hope you are able to open this screen, the blank canvas. In case if you have any queries or so, you can feel free to raise your hand. We can unmute you and you can ask it as well. Not a problem. Okay, I'll maybe move ahead from an implementation side. You need not think of anything. What matters the most for us is only these two screens. Here, we are just going to, okay, before we jump onto this, you remember we were saying that we want it to be a PDF reader or PDF data extracted and add. So we have something called as data sources, right? You just click on plus, it will give you this option which says, let's say in my case I'm just saying cohort details, and you can give an option, or you have an option of upload files. Just click on upload files. You will see those two files I've shared in the group. You can use those, or anything else that you have in mind, feel free to use that. Okay, you can add a different data source also, or since we want both the data sources to, or the questions to be answered for both, I'm just adding them into a single data source. Okay, now I have both my data sources being added, and this data is now available for me to play around with. So I can ask questions into this data, and even my customers, once I share a URL with them, will be able to ask questions on and get responses from this these two files that I have just uploaded. Clear? Now we will just go to the main.flow in the navigation bar. Over here, instead of it becoming, so you see something called as end, right? Click on that block. On the right side, you would see settings, right? There is this gearbox symbol that you are seeing. Click on behavior. You will see a drop down or drop up that's coming up, and you can select chat over there. And ignore everything else. Here you are selecting, instead of saying no processing, since we want the answers to come from a document, we are selecting something called as retrieval augmented generation. Okay, no need to understand what retrieval augmented generation or RAG is, but for everyone's reference, RAG is nothing but you are telling the system, you are very intelligent, I know that, but I don't want you to be that intelligent. I just want you to answer the questions from my data points or my data sources only. Please don't answer it from the entire library that you have. I'm giving you two books. In this case, since we have uploaded two documents, I'm giving you two books. Please use only those two books to answer the question. If you don't have the answer from those two books available, please say you're not capable of answering this question. Clear? That's what a RAG system is all about. It's your way of saying, boss, take only my data to answer the question. Everyone is able to follow till here? In case any questions, please raise your hand or feel free to put it in the chat. We'll help you. Okay. uh, I presume that to be a yes, and I'll just continue. Now, here, if you click on preview, or you can even open something called as open draft agent. You're able to see this, right? Open. So, okay, you are on the screen. Everyone is on the screen, and you can click on preview. You have open draft agent as an option. Please click on that. Okay, so it gave me the chat box directly. What, tell me about your cohort. Let's see if that is a question that I have. So it's going through the documents that is provided, and it is giving me what is happening about the cohort, 8 weeks of cohort, and all of this being explained clearly basis the data that I have given to it. Right. So thing is, now you are able to talk to your own documents by yourself, and best part, you can maybe I'll go back to the chat window and say I'll just give it a name saying. All things about Kautilyan, and I just save it and just publish it also, let's say. Right now this document is available for it to be shared with the world. So I can share it with anyone and everyone. So let's say right now I'm in this account or incognito mode. I'll just go to the other tab where and I'll open this file, and that person will be able to access it as well. You can share it with anyone in the world. They just need to log in maybe and ask questions. Tell me about slope framework. So if you see, it's answering about the slope framework clearly, ensuring everything is there as per the document that we have provided, right? So you can ask it out of the context. Who is Superman? So if you see, it says it can't answer about Superman, but it is focused on AI adoption and all of this, and it's able to answer only for that. Shibin, I hope that helps. Great. Uh, you are all able to okay, firstly, me doing it is not important. You guys doing it is more important. Are you all able to create a chatbot of yourself? If so, can you share a link that we can all play with? Okay, so to upload the documents, you just need to go to, I hope you are on the screen that we are on right now, correct? Can you confirm once? Awesome. So here you see something called as data sources. Oh, sorry. One second. I was sharing a wrong tab. Okay. I hope you're all on this screen right now. Now, if you go on the left on the navigation bar, you see something called as data sources. Click on that, or you can see the plus button besides it. Just click on that plus button. You will see something like this, which says untitled data source. You can give any name to it and click on upload files. You can select multiple files at the same time, click open, and your files would get uploaded. Uh, awesome. Anyone else facing any challenges? everyone was able to create and publish their chatbots. So again, not opening in Mac Safari. Okay, I am not sure of that because at least for me on Chrome it's working. Let's see if it works out on Safari as well. So on Safari, let's say if it is working or not. So on at least it's opening for me to and it's asking me to log in. I don't exactly remember the credentials at the moment, but ideally it should work out across browsers. Cool. Anyone else facing any challenges, or everyone was able to create the chatbot or is confident of creating them? If you could share your links, we'll also play around with it. Okay. Any questions? Oh, works well for you. Great. That's awesome. Uh, mm, I'll just open yours, Prashant, and let's see. It's taking some amount of time to load, but yeah. I guess okay. For some odd reason, it's taking time to load, but everyone can try out with your own documents also. Right now, you might have tried with the PDFs that I've shared, but you can play with other documents present that you would have at your disposal. Play with them and see how it works out as well. Share across with your friends as well to showcase that you created an agent or a chatbot in 5 minutes time. But one thing I just want to highlight is creating a prototype the way we did is easier. Making it production ready is not. So the way Shibin asked a question saying, hey, can I ask it an out of context question? That was one scenario, but there could be hundreds of such scenarios in which the bot might get confused and give a random answer, which shouldn't happen. So we need to be careful before we deploy it in production. Okay. So I hope you are able to create the agents and you have somewhat this kind of a feeling. Yes, yes, I've created my agent. If so, just say yes or something in the chat. That way, at least I get a sense that you were able to create it. And you are clear about what AI agents are and what different tools are also as well. Great. Uh, Thanks, Shubin. Now we'll just quickly move ahead into this. So we aren't fully done. We have, as I was saying, promising, we have few bonuses for you all. We have curated about 200 prompts for across these things. If you could share, tag us and put it across on socials, talking about your learnings from this. And if you want these prompts to be shared across, we're more than happy to share across. But only request is please do tag us on and share your learnings on LinkedIn, and even put across your photo that you could generate directly from the tool. We'll quickly share that tool also with you all. And in case if you have any query on the tool, please let me know. I'm just sharing that tool with you all. You can just upload a square 1:1 or a square sized photo of yours and get the image generated with the frame over there. Okay. Um, so the only request is, and these prompts are good for all these use cases that we mentioned here. Uh, we also have two cohorts coming up. One is a full stack product mastery cohort, which is an 8-week cohort starting from last week of March or first week of April. The whole intent of this cohort is to help you build your MVPs, help you without having any knowledge of coding, be able to create products, digital products, and ship them across. That way, you get confidence in this. We just don't discuss about the product management part, or just the technical side of the world. We delve into how do you use AI tools to create AI products or products in general, and take a structured approach to it. The whole intent of this course is also to break barriers within your organizations. Also, the point is, I'm not sure how many of you face this challenge, wherein you expect, or your requirement or your expectations of the output that's being expected from your tech team was something, but you actually got something else altogether, and it didn't meet your requirements. The expectation versus delivery gap that exists, that's because the language of communication between that you have and your teams have is different. Design team talks in a different language. You might want to communicate in their own language. So in this cohort, we delve deeper into helping you create UI UX screens automatically. You come up with POC products by yourself, by creating or even create technical architectures as such, without having to understand it in deep, or so. That's what this cohort is all about. The second cohort is more for business leaders who aren't going to be the ones who are building it per se, but want to leverage AI and implement it in their businesses. How do we go about it, and what are different use cases that you can think of for each of the industry per se, be it supply chain, marketing, finance, so on and so forth. All of them being covered is what we have in the other cohort. We would also, we offer consulting services wherein we do a dipstick of seeing where AI adoption opportunities are there in your business, and how do you go about doing it as well. If you are interested and think it's of value, we will be more than happy to have you guys on board for these cohorts slash help you with your business adopting AI as well. We would love to hear your feedback. You can just scan it here, or we've also shared a form link in the chat. You can quickly fill it in. It won't take a lot of time, so I would request you to fill it right now, so that we can learn and improve from your feedback. And we hope this actually adds value to you. The session was helpful to you, and you were able to learn something out of this entire session. We, thanks, Prashant. And if you could put across on socials, that would also be helpful. Spread across the word with your fellow members. That way, we would be able to do the session for other people, help them as well, and build a strong community of people who are co-learning as such. Thanks, Naveen. Thanks a lot. Means a lot. Please do fill in the form and share your feedback as well. That will help us a lot. speaking. Hey, thanks a lot, Shibin. Thanks for filling the form as well and sharing your feedback. Thanks, Soumya, for filling the form and sharing your feedback. Would request others also to help us out with your inputs. Uh, and that's more or less that we had for the session, but we humbly request you to fill in the feedback and help us with your feedback, and you can reach out to us if we would love to have you guys on the cohorts as well. So if you have any queries, more than happy to help you with answering them as well. And thanks a lot for the opportunity. Any questions or anything else that you want to share? If not, then maybe we'll close the call, but we would love to hear your feedbacks. We've received, I think, three of from three people. Would love to hear it from the others as well. Cool. Thanks a lot. Thanks once again, and hope you found it of value. Thank you. Bye. And sure. Thanks, Naveen.